Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of June 9th. We have a jam-packed show with tons of state competition.
And we'll hear from the Armstrong baseball team as they get set for this week's state tournament in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
We'll get started with state track and field. The first day is prelims in most track events with some field event finals. A beautiful Friday for day one of the Class AA meet at Hamlin. The defending state champion in the boys triple jump was Terrence Bowers of Hopkins. He goes 46 feet 8 inches in the prelims, later goes 48 feet 2 inches in the finals, and Bowers repeats as state champion. In the girls' long jump, Champlin Park freshman Allison Garrett has a strong showing. Her best leap is 18 feet 2 inches. She finishes second to Minnetonka's Mia Barron, who set a new state meet record.
In contrast to Friday, Saturday was not pleasant for day two of the state AA meet. A very wet start as we begin with field events. In the boys' long jump, Terrence Bowers of Hopkins wins the title with a best of 22 feet 7 inches. The discus circle gets dried out for the finals. Spark Center junior Terrence Howard is the runner-up with a best throw of 170 feet 11 inches in the finals. On to the track and some good local performances despite the rain. In the first event, the girls 4x800 relay, Minnetonka repeats as champion in a time of 9:06.48. Wayzata is second, 7 seconds behind the skippers. In the boys 100 meters in the middle in black, Shahid Hickman of Hopkins, he repeats as champ with a time of 10.99 seconds. Two local teams lead the boys 4x200 relay as Wayzata places first. And Osseo is the runner-up. The Orioles time 1:29.47. Heartbreak in the boys 1600. Joe Klecker of Hopkins trying to chase down Stillwater's Eli Cron, and Klecker has a spectacular wipeout. He rolls over the finish line to place 6th. In the boys 4x100. Hopkins, anchor Hickman outkicks Andover as the Royals gain some valuable team points with the win. In the girls' 400 meters, two Cretin-Durham Hall runners, Brescia Hunter and Megan Linder, lead the way. Third goes to Ruby Stauber of Wayzata. Michael Smith of Wayzata has a good day. The senior races to the title in the 400 with a time of 47.99 seconds. His brother James is 5th. And in the final event, the 4x400 relay, Michael Smith anchors Wayzata to the win. They place second as a team in this one, and it's Hopkins winning the boys' team title. Here's what some local place winners had to say.
I thought we did a pretty good job. You know, there was always some hope to go get them, but they're an outstanding team, so it was definitely a great race.
Last year I came here and I got 3rd place in state, and my coach Netzer really pushed me all year because this is the goal I really wanted to strive for. To be honest, I can't sum it up in words. I'm just really overly excited.
It feels really great. You know, it's nice to finally, put all the hard work in the season, kind of see it pay off in the end here. Got a little unlucky here with the weather, but I'll take it anyway.
I felt it was a good performance. I mean, the weather kind of messed with everything, and nobody really had their best day, but I feel like I worked myself up and I got a good throw in.
Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. For all my teammates, not just me, all of my teammates, we work hard for this. And it paid off. It paid off.
As we check the boys' scores, Hopkins is the state champ with Wayzata as the runner-up. Osseo and Champlin Park also cracked the top 20. Minnetonka rolls to the AA girls title ahead of Cretin-Durham Hall and Lakeville South. Locally, Wayzata is 7th and Champlin Park ties for 27th. In boys tennis, Wayzata advanced to the state final for the 2nd straight year, and they had a rematch in the AA final. Facing Minnetonka, Joey Richards serves in the #1 singles match to Nick Beatty of Wayzata. Beatty with a slice volley, and Richards comes to the net. He gets a racket on the passing shot but can't return it. Beatty wins 6-1, 6-3. Sam Tyson's in the far court in the #3 singles match for Wayzata against Daniel Wheaton. Wheaton will come to the net, and Tyson lobs over him coming up on the way to a 7-6, 6-1 win. To second doubles, Joseph Haugen and Jack Garvey in the near court for Wayzata against Carter Smiley and Sterling Sibley. Haugen and Garvey win the match 6-2, 6-3 for the Trojans. Steele Kowalczyk serves, and Jake Strom will angle the volley for the point. The Wayzata duo pulls out a 3-set thriller that clinches the state championship as Wayzata repeats with a 5-2 win.
It's amazing. I mean, last year we played them again. It was a great match. This year, even closer. It was really just overall an amazing experience.
As a senior, this year feels really special to me. Having last year we were pretty lucky with our talent, and then this year we had to work for it a bit more. And with getting to know all the guys here and staying together as much as we have, it's been such a good year.
It was also a great week for local players in singles and doubles. In the Class AA Doubles Championship, Maple Grove's Rory Calabria and Charlie Atkins in the far court against Anthony Rosa and Carter Mason of Eden Prairie. Atkins with the winner. Later, Atkins' serve and volley sets up the smash winner for Calabria, and they win the match in straight sets and are state champions. Congrats to them. The singles championship was a great battle. Nick Beatty for Wayzata, Toby Boyer for Forest Lake. Beatty gets the volley winner here on his way to a 7-6 win in the first set. Boyer comes back though. Watch him chase down this lob shot and hit a great winner down the line for a point. Still in the second set, Beatty comes to the net, but Boyer matches the aggression and gets the backhand winner, and he takes the set 6-4. Beatty, though, is far from rattled. A forehand winner here in the third set as the sophomore takes control. And then on match point, another big forehand locks up the title. Beatty is the AA singles champion after a hard-fought match.
I kind of expected it to be. He's a really great player, and he plays really ferociously, I guess would be a good word. And I knew that it would just have to be a grind.
In prep baseball, Armstrong entered the championship round in Section 6-3A without a loss in the tournament. Benilde needed 2 wins over the Falcons. Top of the first inning, Benilde's Michael Kaminsky singles to right field. Keaton Studsrud comes around to score, and it's quickly 1-0 Benilde. Armstrong starting pitcher Jack Wibben gets himself out of further trouble when he gets Marshall Hemke to pop up. Wibben with the catch here, and the Red Knights leave the bases loaded. Bottom of the first, and Wibben helps his own cause with a base hit to left for the Falcons. This one brings Matt Bachmeyer in. The Falcons score 3 times to lead 3-1 after an inning. They add 3 more runs in the second. Bachmeyer singles past third and into left. Josh Thorpe scores. And when the Red Knights make an error in the field, Troy Ouellette will also score on the play as the Falcons go up 6-1 through 2 innings. Armstrong scores twice more in the fourth on a pair of sacrifice flies. Bachmeyer drives in Thorpe here, and it's an 8-1 game at this point. Benilde puts up 4 runs in the fifth, but Armstrong hangs on for an 8-5 win. We'll hear from the Falcons later in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Champlin Park's baseball team reached the Section 5 3A final. The Rebels needing 2 wins over Mounds View in the double elimination tournament. The Mustangs just 1 to reach state. Good pitching and defense for the Mustangs. Joe Fredrickson to first baseman Sam Henches for the 6-3 double play. Bottom of the third, Henches at the plate. He singles to center field. Fredrickson scores, and it's 1-0 Mounds View. Same inning, Alec Abercrombie at the plate. A wild pitch scores Henches. He just gets under the tag of Trevor Kaminsky. 2-0 Mounds View. Champlin Park can't get a run across in this game. Good defense and pitching carry the Mustangs to another section title. Mounds View wins 3-0, and they are headed back to state. Heritage Christian Academy played for the Section 4A title. The Eagles look to bounce back after a Game 1 loss to New Life Academy. In Game 2, Ryan Latalo of Heritage singles to center. Aaron Lavacek scores, and that breaks a 1-1 tie in the fourth inning. Still in the fourth, Timmy Thurston singles to left, and he gets by the left fielder. Tyler Furry scores, and it's 3-1 Heritage. New Life counters, though, in the fifth. Sam Mazzone singles to bring Matthew Palkovich home. New Life takes a 4-3 lead. Top of the sixth, Joel Vershek with a deep fly to left to score Nathan Sawtell with a go-ahead run. The Eagles in front, 5-4. But in the bottom of the seventh, New Life. Mazzone single tagging one to right center here. Sam Homer scores the tying run, and it's 6-6. We go to extra innings, and it ends in the ninth. New Life's Homer nailing it to deep left. It'll stay in the park, but bounce off the wall. Palkovich races around to score. They have a winning run. Heritage loses a tough one, 7-6 and 9. New Life Academy advances to state.
In Section 5, 2A, Providence Academy trying to stay alive in an elimination game against Paynesville. The Lions get a run in the first inning as Daniel Fofinski scores on a wild pitch. 1-0 Providence after one. The Bulldogs tie it in the fourth. Mitch Widener grounds to short. The Lions take the out at first, and Nate Dingman scores on the play. It's 1-1 through 4. Paynesville gets the winning run in the seventh. Grant Thompson drops a single into a puddle in right center field. Colin Riley scores as the Bulldogs win 2-1, eliminating Providence. And pretty good runs for Heritage, Champlain Park, and Providence, but they all fall just short.
And Armstrong, the last local squad standing. They'll start play Thursday afternoon. Next up, Maple Grove's trip to the state softball tournament, plus section lacrosse finals. Welcome back to Sports Jam. The state softball tournament is now in the books.
That's right. Maple Grove was aiming for a title in Class 3A, and they almost got there. The Crimson face New Prague in the Class 3A quarterfinals. After driving in a run in the first, Jordan Mauk does even better in the third. This single scores 2 runs, with Josie Roll the second to come home. That gives the Crimson a 3-0 lead. Sydney Smith is sharp in the circle. She strikes out 10 and allows just 2 hits in the game for Maple Grove. And Mauk has a huge day. She'll get a hold of one in the 5th inning, and this one will leave the park for a 2-run homer. She has 5 RBIs as Maple Grove wins it 6-0. After beating North St. Paul in the semifinals, Maple Grove played for the Class 3A championship. The Crimson facing Lakeville South for the title. Maple Grove takes the lead in the third as Jordan Mauk drills it down the line and right past the photographer's camera here. Sammy Sadler is the first of 2 runners to score, and it's 2-0 Crimson. Lakeville South gets on the board in the fourth as Amanda Bloomquist hits a comebacker that Smith throws wide of first. Jenna Uphoff scores, and the Crimson lead is cut in half. After a controversial ruling ends a Maple Grove scoring threat, Lakeville South rallies in the 6th. Alicia Young bloops it over the drawn-in infield to tie the game at 2-2. And they go ahead on the squeeze bunt by Mariah Uphoff. Michaela Thielen will just beat the tag at the plate. The Cougars go up 3-2. And Kylie Stober gets out of a jam in the 7th as Smith strikes out with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Maple Grove loses a heartbreaker 3-2.
Maybe a little bit of misfortune for us. Taking nothing away from Lakeville South, they played a great game. They put the ball in play every single time that they needed to, and they came up with the plays when they needed them. And, you know, we may have left a few runs out there, did a few things, but, you know, I'm so proud of the way our kids played. They're just fantastic kids. They gave us everything they got. Heck, we're in the state championship game. There's a lot worse places to be.
Now to lacrosse and a number of local section finals. Wayzata faced Maple Grove in the Section 8 boys final. First quarter, Grant Long steps around the defender and rifles the goal in for a 2-0 Wayzata lead. Max Stecker with a perfect pass to Grant Johnson on the cut. Trojans lead 3-0 after one. Final seconds of the first half, Jake Wilson rips the shot for the Crimson, while Wayzata goalie Aaron Peterson makes the save. Scoreless through most of the third quarter until Wayzata's Amar Batra gets loose and lasers the goal with 1 second left in the quarter for a 4-0 lead. The Trojans play tough defense all night, and that carries them to the Section 8 title and a trip to state with a 6-1 win.
I got to give it to the defense. I mean, I made some saves, but really, they were the ones back there that were making the kids shoot from outside. They were making the kids drop the ball. They were making them turn over. So it was great to have good D, especially the D-mids. We knew who their shooters were coming out of this, and they did a great job of locking them out. And they played great tonight. I got to give it to them.
In the Section 7 boys final, unbeaten Champlain Park faces Blaine. First quarter on the Rebels, Gage Monson shot is off the post. Dylan Fettig cleans up the rebound. Champlain Park leads 1-0. Ahead of the third quarter, and Fettig finds a cutting Luke Dahlman in front for the goal. Champlain Park's in control in this one. Blaine gets a couple, but overall goalie Bryce Plunkett and his defense play solid for the Rebels as Champlain Park beats Blaine 9-2 to return to state.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, especially with this team. This team's been the best team I've ever been on. Great friendships. It's just a great team.
Well, that brings us to the state tournament for boys lacrosse.
And the 2 local entrants will square off right away. Wayzata and third seed Champlain Park meet in the tournament opener Tuesday at 1 o'clock. The Rebels edged the Trojans by 1 goal in the regular season finale. Also in the quarterfinals, White Bear Lake meets Eden Prairie, Lakeville North plays Blake, and Matamidi faces number 1 seed Rosemount. Those games are at Chaska. The tournament resumes Thursday and Saturday at Chanhassen.
4 area girls lacrosse teams played in 3 section finals last Wednesday, with 2 of them trying to return to state for a second straight season, including the Armstrong girls. The Falcons get off to a quick start against Irondale. Haley Holdall converting the pass from Amy Master for a 2-0 Falcons lead. Later, it's Miranda Calbear setting up a cutting Mari Verbatim for the Falcons' 4th goal of the first half. Closing seconds of the half, when Irondale standout Sam Donovan somehow gets through the Armstrong D, but is stopped by Armstrong goalie Izzy Snow, who makes several outstanding saves. Second half, and Armstrong continues the attack on offense. Master to Holdall again to make it 6-1 Falcons. Armstrong goes on to win 10-5 and advance to state for the 2nd straight year, thanks to a great team effort.
It helps a lot when we all work together really well, because sometimes if the defense is down or the attack is down, it's hard to just work as a team overall. But I think today we all just communicated really well and kept our energy up, and we wanted to win.
In addition to Armstrong, the Champlain Park girls were looking to repeat as section champions. In the Section 7 girls final, top-seeded Champlain Park met up with Coon Rapids. Second half, Sam Nolan accelerating for the Rebels and scores, giving Champlain Park a 7-3 lead. Later, it's Margie McNamara curling around from behind the net. Sets up Katie Elder with a backhanded shot and goal here for Champlain Park. Coon Rapids rallied but never caught up. Hannah Krimble to a cutting Tara Dahlman here for another Rebels goal, as Champlain Park holds on to win 12-10, and they go back to state.
It's a really good feeling coming into this game, knowing that we went last year. It's big. Actually, I was more nervous this year because last year we were below them and we still won last year, so it was a good feeling winning it again.
Wayzata and Maple Grove met in the Section 8 Girls Championship. This was a back and forth match all night. Maple Grove scoring here, Wayzata able to counter. These teams traded goals throughout most of the game and throughout the second half, and eventually went to 2 overtimes where Maple Grove won 14-13. That gives the Crimson their first section championship in lacrosse. Lauren Kaufman had the game-winning goal, so the Crimson go on to state. And congrats to them in a great section final.
So 3 local teams from the Northwest Suburban Conference are in the girls lacrosse tournament, but none of them were seeded. Armstrong takes on number 3 seed Apple Valley in the tournament opener Tuesday afternoon. Champlain Park meets number 2 seed Eden Prairie at 3 o'clock, followed by Maple Grove against top seed Blake. Those games are at Chanhassen. The tournament continues Thursday at Chaska, with the final Saturday back at Chanhassen. The Wayzata girls golf team qualified for state last week, a windy day 2 of the Section 6 3A tournament. Wayzata's Jessica Nelson sinks the birdie putt on 11 and has a very good day, finishing 2nd overall. Her teammate Sarah Burnham in the bunker on 11, but a nice out, and that sets up a par putt. Burnham cards a 75 and is the tournament medalist. On the 16th hole at Ridges of Sand Creek, Wayzata's Ellie Brandt strokes the par putt. She finishes 3rd behind Burnham and Nelson. On 17, Benilde's Mackenzie Swenson with a nice chip shot. She pars this hole and is a state qualifier with a 2-round score of 171. Here's what Nelson from state tournament qualifier Wayzata had to say after her round.
Yeah, I would say that we've played good golf, but it might not be our best, and hopefully we're saving that for the state tournament.
Burnham and the Trojans should be in hunt for state titles, all 3 state tournaments, A, AA, and 3A. Coming up early this week.
Yeah, it should be some great action out there, and hopefully the weather cooperates as well. Next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight, hear from an Armstrong baseball team that's gelled at playoff time.
The Armstrong baseball team made a somewhat surprising run to the Section 6 3A title. The Falcons are in the state tournament for the first time since 2010, and they're the focus of this week's Sports Jam Spotlight. Here's Jason Melillo.
Armstrong cut its way through the section tournament, winning 4 in a row, including knocking off top seed Benilde St. Margaret's twice.
It was exciting. Right now it's almost a little surreal. It still hasn't set in yet, but really we got
We got more games to play. We got more games to win.
From an outsider's perspective, it was hard to see this coming. The Falcons had a very up and down regular season, but wins and losses aside, players and coaches felt they were set up well for a section run.
Just moving guys around and trying to figure out where those pieces of the puzzle fit together is an important thing. You know, we've always said at our program, we might not always have fast starts, but we'll always have good finishes by working hard with our pitching staff and making sure that they're ready to go at the end of the year rather than the beginning, and making sure guys are in the right spots and know how to fill their role and know what they're going to do in order to have success.
Armstrong can definitely hit the ball and hang up big numbers. During a hot streak in May, the Falcons scored 61 runs in 7 games. But success at the state tournament will likely start with good pitching and defense.
Winning close games is really important for us because we have a lot of those. Putting faith in our defense and our pitching is huge. Pitching is some of the best I've ever seen, and that's important to win those close games because of our pitching defense.
We have great pitching staff. We have a lot of guys who can throw the ball hard, throw the ball accurate, and we trust that our guys on the mound can throw strikes, and we trust that our guys in the field can make outs.
On the hill, junior Jack Wibben is the Falcons' ace, but the Arms run deep on this squad.
Our pitching staff, I feel, is like one of the best in the state. We have 7 guys that can go any day of the week. You know, we have 4 really solid starters, like 4 aces on our team pretty much. So that really meant a lot to us because then we could be deep in our pitching staff, and it really prevented our defense from having to do a whole lot, and it really excelled us through the whole tournament.
Back in 2010, the last time the Falcons made the state tournament, they were bounced in the first round. Coach Brian Sobiek let his boys enjoy the section title, but also urged them to quickly refocus and get ready for the biggest tournament of the season.
We set our goals because at the beginning of the season we struggled. We were 1-6, and our goals is just to improve. But now that we've actually made it, our goal is to actually do something and win games, not just go there and to go there.
We had a slow start to the year, and there's if you look at overall record, our overall record's not as great as some of the other teams that'll end up in there. But I think if you look at how teams are playing and who we've beat, I think we beat some pretty tough teams, some pretty talented teams, and we're pretty hot right now.
Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
Armstrong plays its first game of the state tournament Thursday at 3 o'clock against Eden Prairie at Midway Stadium. We're back to wrap up Sports Jam in a minute, but first, our plays of the week. Somehow gets through there, and a great save by Izzy Snow.
Our game of the week is that state baseball quarterfinal as Armstrong takes on Eden Prairie Thursday at Midway. Catch the replays Friday at 7 and 10 p.m.
And that'll do it for this week's show. Next week's our season finale.
We'll have our all-area teams in baseball and softball and a lot more. See you then.